Hi everyone, it's Rebecca with linkinglewiscounty.com, and on today's episode of Hear All About It, we have Josh Levesque. Josh is here with Search and Rescue. You are the Chief Operating Officer?
Chief of Operations, yes.
Chief of Operations, okay, and you are here to talk about National EMS Week.
Correct.
All right, welcome, Josh. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks
so
for
we've got a
having me.
lot to cover. Let's start talking about what National EMS Week is all about.
So National EMS Week, what a great week. National EMS Week is a week for us to take time to recognize and honor all of those that, selflessly give themselves to EMS, both volunteer and paid staff. The ones that get up in the middle of the night and head to somebody else's emergency, somebody they don't know, in a place they don't know, and they literally do it selflessly. They don't know what they're getting into. They just give themselves 100% to go out and try to render care and help somebody who can't help themselves at that time.
Right. One aspect I want to touch on that you just spoke of, because I was unaware of this, I didn't realize there was a difference between volunteer positions and paid positions. What are some of the things that a volunteer would be asked to do?
So volunteers have a very wide range of tasks. Volunteers can come in and assist in many different ways. So they can come in and volunteer through the auxiliary, for example. They can come in, and the auxiliary is a group that's going to come in and help support those that have their boots on the ground and those providers through fundraising and events and things like that, again, to give back. So it's one of those situations where they can volunteer their time, but they don't have to get on the rig, because there's many people out there that know deep down that they can't get in and see the things we see.
Sure.
And deal with the things we see. So there are avenues there for them to volunteer. Volunteer drivers. These are people that, they know they don't want to be EMTs, but they want to help out in some way. So they become certified in CPR and they drive us. So they get in the rig and they take us where we got to be, and they help us, extricate patients and different things. And then right down to people that would like to come up and help us out, around base and things like that. Volunteers are needed and wanted in a very vast range.
Who typically give me an example of some of the people that would be a volunteer? Who's able to do that? The
greatest part about volunteers is it spans. So to revert back, our auxiliary, we're lowering those ages to kind of bring in family members and younger kids. We're looking 12, 14 years old is where we're starting our cutoff there, so that these people can come in and help at a young age before they can get into the junior program at 16. So you have kids, then you got high school kids. Now the state has lowered the requirement for the age to become an EMT down to 17.
Okay.
So now we're getting high school kids that are taking the EMT course in their senior year and becoming EMTs and volunteers in their senior years and going right through college. We have college kids that are coming in and volunteering their time when they're not in school as well. So during the summer times, we see a lot of our college students, and they're fantastic kids. And then right up through, all the way up through the age range, all the way up to, we have some volunteer drivers that are up in their 70s that have been doing this for 20, 30 years.
That's great.
That is their life.
Right.
That they want to come and help.
So there's really a spot for everyone.
There really is. Absolutely.
So if somebody wants to volunteer, how would they go about that?
That's the easiest thing. I say it's the easiest thing. For some, it's kind of hard, but
right.
They can call me up. They can call up to base 315-376-7745 and talk to the duty crew, or call and touch base with me. And I'll guide them right through it. They can go on our website. There's an application on there.
Okay.
They can fill that out. It'll come to me, and I'll send it through our in-processing group, and somebody will reach out. But the easiest and honestly the best way is stop right up and see us.
Okay.
Stop out at high voltage or any one of the standbys they do, and talk to the crews that are there, and tell them what you want to do, and just have that conversation with you. They will give you a name and a
Find
place,
a spot
and
for
you got it,
yeah.
and get you going.
Okay. Let's talk about some of the events that you've got going on to celebrate this week.
Yeah, it's great. So on Sunday we kicked off EMS Week with our spaghetti dinner. It was a small fundraiser that the auxiliary put on, that we put together. And then Tuesday We're doing community CPR awareness. We're offering free CPR classes to the community. We're doing that again on Saturday. It's free to the public. Come in, and our providers will train you in CPR. Again, we go back. CPR is crucial. So crucial. So the more people that we can train, the better. So we provide those 2 dates free of charge. Thursday, our EMS family is getting together for a dinner where the boss is gonna smoke a brisket, and
Nice.
we're gonna get together and enjoy one another for a little bit on Thursday.
Hopefully call free.
Let's hope. Unfortunately, it's rarely that way.
Right.
But that goes to show though. We plan these things, frequently, and these providers never grumble one bit. We're there to celebrate one another, but they have no problem dropping their fork, getting up, walking out
Definitely
that
a
door.
selfless group.
Yeah. So then we're going to round out EMS week on Sunday again with kind of like a picnic, a little cornhole tournament amongst the staff there. We'll have some awards and things like that, sponsored by the auxiliary, to kind of close the EMS week out and really show our appreciation.
Okay. Well, Josh, I want to just take a minute while you're here and kind of give you the floor and say, you guys are such an important part of our community, and I think a lot of times one that's probably underappreciated or we take for granted. So if you just had a second to kind of address the citizens of Lewis County, what is it that you want everyone to know primarily?
The biggest thing, there's many things. I could probably sit here and explain for hours what I'd love our communities to understand, but
Right.
The group of people that comes out day in and day out to help, these people are unique. They're the most selfless and most caring people I've ever met in my entire life. The skills and the time it takes them to establish and gain the level of certification they have, it's a lot of work, and they've
Right.
dedicated their lives. They've sacrificed their families to do such, and again, to come out, it's not about the paycheck. They're in EMS. You can ask any provider out there. They do not do it for a paycheck,
Right.
and they do it because they have the ability and they have the desire to help people. So as far as our communities go, there's a few things. One, I encourage everybody to stop and see a provider. Anywhere you see them, any standby, they're welcome to come and talk. Get to know these people because they are absolutely amazing. The other side of that is, our general public, I'd love them to truly understand what our capabilities are, what that ambulance brings to the table, and when it comes to your house, what they're going to do for you.
Right. As we talked earlier, they're the front line of defense.
They really
most
are.
times.
We don't have necessarily somebody standing over our shoulder telling us what to do. And when you're faced with unconscious patients or very, very ill patients, these providers have a vast knowledge to help them very critically and very quickly narrow down what the root cause of an ailment is, so that they can protect that life and save it. And again, it goes through. It's a lot of work. It's a significant dedication to the craft and to their communities, and they're very, very skilled.
Right.
You have this community has an amazing group right in their backyard.
We certainly do, and not only do we need to take this week to reflect on you guys, but we need to do it every week of the year, every year. So I guess I just would encourage everybody, we would encourage everybody to, if you're looking to volunteer,
Please.
contact you guys. If you're looking to make a monetary donation or a case of water to the auxiliary, do that. If you're interested in this becoming a career, contact you guys and you'll put them in the right path, right? So
Absolutely.
we really appreciate you coming in, and we thank you for everything you do for the citizens of our county.
And we thank you for having us.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh.